Tom, what of SueGray, the former civil servant? She refused to cooperate with that Cabinet Office inquiry, which I find pretty staggering. The Keir Starmer presumably is going to come under huge pressure about that at Prime Minister's Questions today, because we need to know, it's important, when conversations started between him and her about her becoming his Chief of Staff, particularly as we know she was conducting the partygate inquiry into Boris Johnson.
We do need to know, and yesterday turned into a bit of a damp squib. We were all there waiting for this written ministerial statement for the best part of the afternoon, and it drops much later than people were expecting, and frankly contained a lot less information than people were expecting. The Cabinet Office Minister in the end didn't say whether or not rules were broken, and there has been some reporting overnight that the original draft of this written ministerial statement was going to say, in plain English, that SueGray broke the civil service code. And it's clear to see how she may have done that. It is against the code for senior civil servants to have meetings with opposition parties, with opposition MPs, without ministerial sign-off. And as far as we understand, no ministerial sign-off was sought when inevitably SueGray was having these sort of conversations. When SueGray, who was herself the sort of guarder and keeper of secrets in government, the woman for the best part of 2 decades who was at the core of decision-making in Number 10, who knows all of the secrets of government for the last 10, 15 years, who of course sat on the propriety and ethics team. So many of the stories that didn't make their way into the press, many of the embarrassing secrets from the government are held by her. So the government is very concerned that this is someone who is in effect defecting to the opposition, and crucially who may have broken the rules in doing so. But it is interesting that yesterday we didn't get that clear assessment of whether rules were broken or not. There's some suggestion that might be to do with this purdah period that we're in, just before an election. Should the government be putting out information that might be interpreted as party political so close to the local elections? Maybe we'll get more information after Thursday, into next week perhaps. But also, it seems that that SueGray simply is not cooperating with this investigation. She was invited to give her side of the story to this investigation, and she refused to do so. Now, to many people in and around government, they raise an eyebrow at that. Is that necessarily the behaviour of someone who seems entirely innocent?